On May 24th, Bungie released another preseason of Opulence TWAB. As you can imagine, people got a little upset with that post, as usual. After the previous TWAB that was covering huge but necessary PvE nerfs and changes to very powerful exotic pieces of gear, many players were expecting something a bit more positive. I've been reading a lot of comments on this news, and most of them are saying that they are disappointed with Bungie not responding to complaints and negative feedback on the last week's TWAB, and that they've expected more information about the Season of Opulence, and saying that the TWAB is completely useless. Honestly, I was a little disappointed myself. I and my clanmates were expecting some hints on what kind of pinnacle weapons we're going to have next season, and on which planet the raid is going to be, and who are we presumably going to fight in the Crown of Sorrow, but unfortunately that is not what it's all about. Instead, we got some interesting and extremely important update on Days 1 raiding. So if any of you guys were planning to try out new raid on Tuesday and wasn't really confident if you can make it through the power grind, this might change your mind. So first of all, Power Search. Instead of set of bounties, a new Power Search quest will be your jumping off point for Season of Opulence. You will need to complete this quest to access the new raid. Learning from Season of the Forge, this quest must be completed only once per account. After one character completes the quest, alternate characters will be rewarded with Surge gear at power level 690. Thank God, doing this quest on all three characters is not mandatory. Man, I still have nightmares after Black Armory questline. Second is Prime Attunements. On day 1, Prime Attunements will be reset to only 2 charges for each player. You'll receive 2 new Prime Attunements even if you were playing right up to the reset. So basically they're saying that it doesn't matter how much you haven't played before this update, your Prime Attunement will be reset, but after that you'll be able to build up your Prime Attunement again as usual. I think it's great. I wouldn't want to be forced to drop playing Destiny for almost a week just for attunement stacking. Really nice that they addressed it. And the biggest one so far, the contest. All players' power will be capped at power under each encounter within the raid for the first 24 hours. While contest is active, players will face an enforced challenge throughout the raid. This means power beyond certain levels will provide no advantage for a given fight. For the first fight, all power above 700 won't provide an advantage. And for the final fight, power above 720 will not provide an advantage. Obviously, Bungie wants to make Day 1 raid more competitive and fair this way, decrease the amount of RNG involved in the power grind, and prevent some character swap shenanigans during the raid, and keep it 6 people activity. They had this kind of issue during Crota's end raid in D1, as far as I remember. Raid was released on the Day 1 of DLC. This way, Bungie tried to make Day 1 not a power grind race, but a test of our communication skill and strategy. Crown of Sorrow might be the fairest Day 1 race that we've gotten in Year 2 of Destiny. And light level grind is not going to be as bad either. Assuming you've done all your pre-power level grind preparations on all of your characters, prepared your exotic quests and pinnacle weapons quests that will be powerful reward as well, it should not become a problem ending up at 710, 713 light level in the end, which is more than enough to progress in raid considering light level cap on first encounters. And even those who haven't done any preparations at all still have some fair chance of getting to the light level requirement to beat the raid Day 1. And this is why this TWAB is so important. Season of Opulence might become a transition to more skill-based orientation of Destiny's high-end PvE content. Due to light level cap, we are all going to start on the same field. No exploits or power grind RNG is going to benefit you in the raid too much. Practically, anybody who is active in Destiny 2 right now can give Crown of Sorrow a try and launch. And I think it is great. Bungie still leave room for a clever power leveling strategy, but still make it possible for everybody to compete on the same level. In addition to that, we got some update on Eververse as well. New items, emotes, ornaments, individual purchases with silver, some stuff that will make you super fancy as usual. As you can imagine, not many people would be genuinely interested in day one raiding details, since it is a very limited time activity where many people cannot and would not want to participate, especially since they moved it on Tuesday. It's understandable. So people disregarded all that information and instead got triggered by Eververse's presence in the post, saying that Bungie is not giving us any information at all. And honestly, come to think of it, I'm not sure why anybody expected roadmap or any details on this week's TWAB. The roadmap for the Season of the Drifter was released on February 27 or 28, I'm not sure about the exact date, but it was basically less than a week before the launch, and they are planning to do the same stuff again. I don't really know why exactly they don't want to share any information with the community early on. During Destiny 1, Bungie would hold multiple streams presenting new features, weapons, and ideas, share their excitement, and build up hype around the new DLC. Most likely because they want us to concentrate on the current update and content, but let's be honest, everybody got burned on the Season of the Drifter really quickly. Centering whole DLC around one game mode and adding Horde mode with super limited replayability wouldn't hold people's interest for too long. Seasonal events and some lore hunt kinda kept people in-game, but that's about it. And since they don't do any streams, it's really hard to have conversation with their audience. For that reason, I keep seeing people who do not understand why Bungie nerfed energy return in exotics and Whisper under every Destiny 2 official Twitter or Reddit post. Even though so many good content creators covered this topic, Bungie's comments on that were very short and left people unsatisfied. I'd love to cover this topic in the video as well, just to throw my opinion out there and to add to the informational pool that people need but cannot get from the official sources, unfortunately. So I share that feeling of frustration that people have, but we also have something to look forward to. On the same day, May 24th, Cosmo made a post saying that he is writing next week's TWAB covering pinnacle weapons, sandbox buffs, and more opulence content details. Since he specified that it's not just changes, but sandbox buffs, we can expect some minor class and exotic improvements. I'm pretty sure they knocked out all planned nerfs already, so nothing to be worried about, although some nerfs still might be hiding around the corner, who knows. Lunafaction boots nerf back to the initial release state? Might be. And in the very end of the TWAB post, Bungie stated, "Right now our focus is on opulence, but after the season has launched and raid belts have been awarded, we'll be looking deeper into the future and sharing with you more about a new era for Bungie and Destiny 2. So, few weeks after the launch of Season of the Opulence, we are presumably going to get an updated roadmap or teaser to what year 3 of Destiny 2 is going to be like. So we have no reason to be upset. We are in for something big and really soon now. Anyway, we'll forget about all that once Season of Opulence will hit the live servers. Pretty sure it's going to be great. If you are still with me watching this video, thank you very much, it means a lot to me. I would also love to read your predictions on the upcoming pinnacle weapons. What do you guys is it going to be? We've been discussing it lately in the clan, and I'd personally put my money on Crucible Sniper Rifle, Vanguard Sidearm, and Gambit Shotgun. Alright, I'm all done. Take care, Guardians.